Hi, I'm Anna, and today we're doing somatics. It's slow and gentle, and we're only working to our full range of motion that's comfortable. We're not trying to over effort. There isn't anything that should be pressure or pain. You're only working in your range of motion. Somatics is meant to be posture correction, and we develop that posture because of our gasp reflex, the way that our muscle patterns tense whenever we feel anxiety or stress, or maybe our brain gets busy and we don't lock into the sensations of stress in the body. When we practice somatics, every motion is a breath. So it's very slow. Everything is very slow. It's slower than what you think it might be. Our focus today is the low back, and I'm on a mat on the floor, but you can also do this practice in your bed before bed, and it slows everything down. It's a relatively simple practice. Most of the effort comes from the attention that you're paying to each movement. So if you feel like you're having a hard time following along, it's okay to take a breath. It's okay to pause the tape and just rest for a minute and then begin again. I'm going to start on my back with a blanket under my head. You don't have to have anything under your feet or under your knees to start. We're just going to welcome ourselves into our practice. So, becoming comfortable, I'm going to lay down. And I want the low back to be supported right from the start, and then I'm going to lengthen the legs and just let the hands rest on the ribs. And we'll take a deep breath into the top and exhale all the air out. And then I'm going to start moving the toes and just the toes. And point and flex the feet. Roll the ankles around in both directions. And the whole leg should move whenever we are rolling the ankles around. And then I'm going to bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor or onto your mattress. And I'm going to just do some real soft windshield wipers left and right, side to side. And if you'd like to bring your knees into your chest and roll your low back on the floor, you could do that too. Just an option, not a necessity. And then I'm going to release the feet back down. Move the fingers and the thumbs. Roll the wrists. Both directions. The elbows. The shoulders, arms out to the side or over the head. And then a big stretch. Like your whole life is about to fall into place. Then we'll just settle here. And we'll take 3 deep breaths. Inhale to the top. And exhale all the air out. Then we're going to start bending the knees. And I'm going to take the feet really wide and the knees really wide. And I'm going to start just here at center and drop the knees over to one side. Just wherever they fall is fine. And then I'm going to come back to center and take them to the opposite side. Wide knees, wide feet. And I'm going to do that motion with my breath 10 times. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop. And you're just going to go at your own pace. Your hands can stay resting on your ribs, or if you'd like to take them out to the side or over the head, you have that option as well. Last one for me. Back to center. And I'm going to bring my knees and feet close together. Not necessarily closer to my hips, but just close together so that the knees are touching. And I'm going to repeat that same windshield wiper, but I want the knees to always be in contact. So you're going to feel the knees slide, or the inside of the thighs slide against each other. 10 times. Inhaling center, and exhale to drop. Last one. And I'm going to come back to center. And you can do a couple of reset movements here. So maybe a deeper windshield wiper, or if you want to release the legs long completely, you can do that. And then we'll come back to both knees bent and cross one ankle over one knee. My arms are going to come out to the side, so I want to bring the shoulder blades underneath me, and I have one foot on the floor and one ankle crossed. And I'm going to start this windshield wiper motion again, where I'm just taking this knee over. Now, it's not supposed to touch the ground necessarily, so this is not most people anyway. If it comes down, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. If you want to bring a block, a blanket, or a pillow here for that psychological tickle, you can do that. And the same thing whenever we bring the foot over to the opposite side. If you want to bring a blanket, a block, a pillow on this side, just to touch that foot coming over, you can do that too. It's not important. It's just recognizing that it feels good to us to be able to feel like, oh, look, it's on the other side. It's opposite. I'm in a full twist, but it's not necessary. So we're going to do this motion 10 times to each side. In somatics, that's the most common repetition. Sometimes you do it for time, so 2 minutes of this. But for low back, that tends to be a pretty significant amount. So 10 repetitions is good. If you decide after a couple days you want to try this practice in duration, so 1 to 2 minutes straight, you are welcome to do so. And please give me your feedback if you decide to try that. It changes your practice considerably. One more time to each side for me. Then I'm going to come back to center and release the legs. And make some readjustments and just kind of see what feels good, better, different here. And then I'm going to switch and I'll repeat everything for the second side. So ankle crossing over the knee. And you can also, before I forget, cross at the ankle or cross closer thigh to thigh. It doesn't matter which one. It's just the one that feels best for you. And then we're going to start here and 10 times over. So again, block, blanket, bolster, pillow here under this foot if you want it. And then to the opposite side. And this is 10 times. I'm going to take my arms up. One more time to either side for me. I'm going to come back to center and release. And take the legs long. Bring the arms in. And I'll take a couple of breaths here, some rock and roll down the legs, kind of feel the spine just a little bit. You might notice any sensations tugging or pulling through the back or the hips. And we're going to roll all the way to one side. So when we come onto the side, I'm going to fold the blanket, or you could adjust your pillow so that the head is supported and draw it back. So I'm not tucking the chin into the chest. And then I'm going to take the knees and slide the knees up to 90 degrees to the hip and draw the toes just forward in line with the knees. This hand is going to rest on the trochanter, which is like this knobbly hip bulge right here. I'm going to keep the knees together. They touch all the time. And I'm going to raise the edge of this foot towards the ceiling. So all the way up. And I'm not hicking back. I'm not swinging forward. It just goes laterally up, side of the foot to the ceiling. And then I'm going to release the toes back down towards each other. And I'll do this one 10 times, again with the breath. In somatics, this motion is not necessarily the place that's moving. So you might feel it affecting this hip or this knee, but the work where it's actually happening is this section of the torso that's on your surface, not the ceiling side. It's working the muscles of the waist, where the back muscles attach from the trunk into the back of the pelvis, and the way that this hip socket sits inside the pelvis. And your foot might not go up this high, and that's okay too. Every time the foot comes down, there should be a complete rest where nothing in the body is working. 2 more for me. Then I'm going to take this hand and bring it in front of me. So I have clearance for this thigh. And I'm going to keep the feet together this time and just lift this knee up to the ceiling. I don't want to roll back. I'm not opening upwards. I'm just raising and lowering. Complete rest in between 10 times. Inhale up and exhale, releasing. This is my last one, number 10. And then on the floor in the bed, you're going to roll over to do the opposite side. And I'm going to switch to the opposite end of the mat. We're going to repeat everything for the second side. Drawing the head back, bringing the knees forward. I'm going to get a little bit longer on this side of the spine, just for myself. And then the knees stay together. The ceiling side hand rests on the top of this trochanter, and then raising the foot up and releasing back down 10 times. Last one. And then reverses. Feet stay together and the knee comes up 10 times. One more. And I'm just going to take a moment and we're going to take about 3 to 5 deep breaths. And inhaling, you're going to exhale and come to sit up. So whether you're on the bed or the floor, coming to sit comfortably. And if you're on the floor, you might want to bring a little lift here under your real estate. And I'm going to come into bound angle. So if you want to have some support under your thighs, you can use blankets or pillows to sort of hold the legs up here. You have yoga blocks that you can bring to support if the knees are in your armpits. We're going to start here, and I'm going to start just kind of feeling how my hips are today, what's happening in my low back. And I want to think about lifting one knee up in towards the chest. So when you do that, you're going to have the contraction through the torso and the back and the spine. So you're going to feel yourself curl forward. The tailbone scoops forward to the front. You lengthen and tuck the back. And then I'm going to bring the knee down and I'm going to roll up. So it's like a seated cat-cow. We're flexing the back of the spine. The chest moves up and forward to the ceiling. The knee presses down into the floor. Now, you can do both sides at the same time. So curling the knees up and then releasing forward, pressing the knees down, lifting upwards through the rib cage. Or you could just do one at a time. I'm going to do mine both at the same time. If you do one at a time, you can pause or fast forward for about the next minute or so, going back and forth if you want to do it that way. It'll just take a little bit longer, but you should do the one that works best for you. And we do all of it 10 times. One more for me. We're going to come back to center and we're going to do a little shake. So a little wiggle down the real estate or across your hips. If you want to take your legs out long and slightly wide and do a little rock and roll shake this way, you can do that too. Just whatever is most comfortable or feels necessary. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce or your best approximation. So if you're more comfortable with the legs out long and slightly wide, you can do that. But if you want to come into crisscross or into Sukhasana, you can do that too. So once I come comfortably into my sit position, I'm going to take my belly button and bring it in alignment, or at least in this neighborhood of this knee. And this hand is just going to gently rest behind me, next to me, close to me. This other hand is just touching the front. I'm not reaching. There's no force in this twist. I'm just angling my belly button in this direction. And then I'm going to come back to center. This is the inhale. I'm going to exhale and go this way. And inhale. And we're going to do this about 5 times. So just making a little space in the low back. And then coming back to center. You can roll the head and the neck, the shoulders. Make some space all through the spine. So I'm going to lace my fingers together. You can do Charlie's Angels if you want to, but I'm just going to lace them together. And I'm just going to reach up, flip the palms up, and we're going to arch the back and bring the hands up wherever they fall. So if they come about just in front of the torso over the forehead, you can do that. Or if you have lots of space in your spine to open backwards, you can do that too. But we're not trying to force anything. It's just our natural range of motion. So we're going to open lift and then slowly bring everything back down, turn the palms in towards each other and release the arms back and rest. Then we're going to do it again. Inhale up, flip the palms if you'd like, arch the back, and exhale back to center. 2. 3. 4. One of the things I'd like to mention is when you bring the arms up or the head comes towards the ceiling, the gaze lifts. We're not clenching the teeth. You're not tightening through the jaw. So as you lift up, sometimes because our neck muscles or our chest is tight, our tendency is to press the teeth together. And that creates extra tension here. So letting the jaw be soft as your hands pull up and the head comes back, there's space between the teeth and the lips, is going to be most beneficial. Maybe 4 more. Two more. Back to center. Then roll the head and the neck. If you want to readjust your leg position, so if I'm in crisscross, I will sometimes switch, bring the outer leg in and make any other adjustments. If you'd like to take the legs out longer, you can do that too. So now I'm going to do a little bit of lateral stretch. And I'm going to bring one hand down to the surface next to me. This other hand is going to reach up. I'm pushing the rib cage up towards the ceiling, bringing this arm over. My head is going to gaze down at this hand. And then I'm going to inhale up. This hand comes down first before the other hand comes up, and gaze down towards that hand on the surface. We're going to do this 10 times to each side. Up. Really slow. If you have a lot of play and you can drop this elbow and come into reach, you are more than welcome to do that. But we're not trying to force anything. We're just doing our natural range of motion. Stretch and not strain. One more, either side. Back to center. Little rock and roll down the spine, move your neck. Move your shoulders. A little bit of space all through the body. And then I'm going to come all the way down onto my back again. And the blanket comes underneath your head or your pillow. I know it's a lot of up and down. It's good for you though. So, coming onto your back completely. Neck is supported. Knees are bent. Shoulder blades are on the floor. Remember, we're focusing on the low back and the hips today. I'm going to take one hand and bring the opposite knee up towards it. And then slowly release it back down. And this hand is going to come back onto my rib cage. I'm going to switch, so I'm cross patterning. Knee into hand and back down. This is the softest version of this motion. And we're going for time at this one, not reps. This is the softest version of this motion. And there are more intense versions that involve lots of sliding and maybe a little more action. But this soft version is really, really nice just before bed. Just kind of break up the posture, especially if you spent a lot of time sitting today, or if you're just feeling a little stiff, or maybe you're starting off your morning and we're kind of working out some of the weird stuff that happens when we sleep at nighttime. And it's okay if you have T-Rex arms and your hand and your knee aren't friends. We're just going to do your best. So if for whatever reason you aren't able to bring the hand to the knee, you can come to the top of the thigh. You can even come over to the front side, opposite side of the belly button or the rib cage. And then releasing back down. That would look like this. So whatever works best for you. We're almost done with this little motion here. And if you're watching your breathing, this is the inhale and this is the exhale. Then we're going to slowly release. And you'll do a little windshield wiper here. Just moving the knees and the hips. And then releasing the legs long again. And then a little like rock and roll down the legs, some shake through the spine. And if you want to stretch here, you can bring the arms over the head or out to the side. Whatever range of motion feels good and comfortable. And then just kind of assessing how the body is feeling. Is anything talking to you? What are you noticing? Where is the life in all that movement that you just made? Maybe it's hard to tell. So maybe we just focus on the life in your breath. Then we'll take a deep breath into the top. Then I'm going to exhale and I'm going to cross one ankle over the other. Inhale. Exhale and uncross. But we want the legs to always stay touching. So they're going to be really, really close together. Really close together. So opposite ankle cross. Release. And rest. And we're going to do this one 10 times. So inhale. Exhale, cross. Inhale. Exhaling, uncross. Now in between, everything comes into complete rest. So we're not trying to hold the legs in this position. So if you end up with a lot of flop or splay, super normal, not a problem. Just something that we notice. And then every time we uncross, a little assessment one more time. You're just rolling through 10 times. And on the very last time, you can push through the feet and the heels, move a little bit through the low back, and then we're going to bend the knees. And you can do a little windshield wiper again if you want to, or you can bring the knees into the chest and roll the low back on the floor. And I like to, especially all of that, kind of do like little half circles or all the way around and back again. Whatever feels best for you. And then coming back to center and releasing the feet down and taking the legs really long. So from here, the arms, because we're talking about the low back, which means the upper back too, they're friends. So I'm going to bring the arms up high and wide over the head and tucking the shoulder blades underneath. So there should be a little bit of lift or arch underneath the low back. I'm just going to stay here for a moment with these arms up nice and high and wide. And then I'm going to take a deep breath into the top. Exhale. And do it one more time in. Exhale. And bring the hands down to the ribs. I'm going to take this right arm. I'm going to try to reach over and across to the outer elbow of the left arm. I'm going to slowly release back to center. And then again to the opposite side. So left hand reaching over and across to the right elbow. And back to center. And it's okay if you can't get that far. So maybe you touch the outer wrist, maybe it comes to the forearm, maybe you come all the way to the outer or upper arm. But I don't want to come to this part of the shoulder. I want to try to stay in line with this lower section. And we'll do this 10 times. You're doing really well. We're almost done. And then we get to have a little rest. And really I say 10 times, but if you decide you only feel like 5, or maybe you do 10 to 15, that's okay too. Or maybe you decide to go for 2 minutes on everything. This practice will be a little bit longer. But you don't want to rush any of the movements. We're teaching the body, this is rest, and this is action. We're relearning what intentional movement feels like. What the sensation of the breath in the body is. I'm going to do one more in and over. Then to the opposite side again, last time. And then back to center. Then you're just going to rest for a moment, and we're going to release the hands down, and you're going to close your eyes. And once you've closed your eyes, taking several deep breaths, inhale to the top. And exhale all the air away. You can make yourself a little more comfortable here. Inhaling to the top. And exhaling away. Find some space at the top and the bottom of the breath. And then find a little bit of space through the spine. Around the jaw. Let the head become heavy. And if you'd like to make an adjustment to your posture and come over onto your other side or make any other adjustments, you can. Let the arms be heavy. Let the legs be long. Let the breath become effortless, not over inhaling or pushing the exhale out. Soften your forehead. Soften your jaw. Feel the length of the spine. Feel space through the hips. The heaviness in the head. Feel lightness in the heart. Take a deep breath in. All the air away. Feel your hands, feel your head, feel your feet. Feel the whole right side, the whole left side. Stretch. And if you'd like to get up and go about your day, you can and should. Or if you'd like to roll over and fall asleep, you can do that too. My hands in Anjali Mudra, holding you in my heart. My gratitude to you for sharing time. Peace in every breath. Namaste and Om Shanti.